The reason why this has been such a blessed and amazing location is that they really do a commendable and wonderful job of bridging art and the local community and inviting the local community into the art center of Jordan to be able to really feel like it's part of their own culture. This exhibition, Remembrance, subtitled The Dialogue with the Past. It's describing how life in the region was very different to today in many aspects that we can see from our recorded material in terms of video footage, and especially in my field in terms of the images which has survived from the earliest photography of the region, that people were living sustainably, relatively harmoniously, and in a very good state of coexistence with each other, that there weren't issues between different faiths. Many of the photographers chose to focus on Jerusalem. If you go back to, say, let's say 1900, this kind of time, there was no real division of, I mean, people would be living within their communities of their individual faiths, but that was no conflict, that was no cause of conflict between people at all. I mean, everybody bought and sold from each other, got along with each other. And socially, in the public sphere, it was even not considered polite to ask somebody their religion, in case they thought that you might treat them differently depending on their religion. So there was no judgment, there was no division, there was no them and us at that time in relating to the way that people related to each other. The American colony were incredibly prolific collection of photography because from their passion and love for the region, they covered the entire area. And you can see from the content of the images that people loved them, they felt very, very natural and at ease with them. And so a lot of images came from the American colony collections. And other images have come from, for example, French photographers or people that locally have contributed images to my work and said, would you like to bring this into the social history in the public domain? I'm always looking for the full resolution scan of the original material, which means that any information which is possibly there, I have the use of. Photoshop is, let's say, like the living room. Because you have to start and finish there, and it is generally a very good framework. However, some of Photoshop's functions don't have as accurate variables as other complementary software or even completely other software. So what I will do normally is start and finish in Photoshop and then take the file into other software to do more specialized functions. I find that people in Amman are absolutely wonderful. They still haven't lost the sense of the importance and value of getting along with the people around them, being kind to each other, being helpful to each other. The way that things work socially is a lot more sensible and logical. Like, for example, an art gallery in New York. They might see art as such a separate thing from their community life. Whereas here, it's another thing, and it's not blown up into some kind of over-ideological thing of, oh, it's art, so it can be like $5 million because we can say art, because we have to ask ourselves, what is art? And the previous exhibitions I've done are mostly focused on this region, this is where I live, extending out a little bit. And of course, in that time, these lands, you could just go anywhere with a camel. There were no borders and like this. I'm now working on an exhibition about Jerusalem. It's provisionally titled Jerusalem City of Peace, or Sacred City of Peace, or City of Sacred Peace, I'm not sure yet, which is arranged for the Jerusalem Fund in Washington in May. And I'm hoping that for the possibility, it seems to be opening up to present this collection to other regions, in order that they can have a chance to see it and experience it as well.